What's up, everyone, and welcome to Now, Next, Never, our show about what's happening now, what's happening next, and what may never happen in the world of investing, stocks, crypto, NFTs, and so much more. I'm Nicole Casperson, and with me, as always, hanging out are my co-hosts Alana Saparu and Zaid Admani. Guys, it's Thursday. I'm hyped. It's raining here in New York, but I feel like we're gonna bring the energy and that heat today. Zaid, what do we got?
We got a lot going on. It is middle of March. March Madness has started. I'm getting pumped, ready to watch some of these basketball games. But before we do that, we have a lot of great stories for you today. Starting off with Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime plays chicken with customers trying to cancel their subscriptions. We're going to talk about that. Meta, also known as Facebook, is paving the way for you to show off those sweet NFTs on Instagram. Elon Musk is tweeting again, and he is testing his power to move physical markets with his asset recommendation tweet. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk and his tweets. And then finally, a segment that I've been waiting for a long time. Producer Danny is coming in and showing us the stories that we might have missed over the last week. So really looking forward to that. What about you, Delano?
What's up, gang? Hey, Nicole and Zaid, how are you doing? Thank you to everyone watching. We have so much to get into. We're going to talk about all the implications for your money, for your wallet, for your bank account, everything. We're going to go through all that today. So make sure you do me a quick favor. Make sure you like and subscribe, and also hit the notification button so you know every time we're going live. Because of course we have those hot takes and those cold facts. Let's not wait any longer. Let's get into it right now.
All right, we're talking Amazon first. I'm teeing up the first story, guys. Amazon is under under investigation by the FTC for making it really hard for people to cancel their Amazon Prime membership. Now, I feel like I've heard like this story for this. The FTC should be regulated in looking into every business, because I feel like this happens with almost every business. But Amazon is currently under investigation. They implemented a program back in 2017, which made it more difficult for members to kind of cancel their Amazon Prime membership, having to jump through multiple hoops. And it did work. This new program that they implemented made it reduce their people canceling by 14%. So it did have an impact. Just wanted to get y'all's take on this. I mean, I feel like this has been happening forever. I mean, it happens with gyms, it happens with cable companies, media companies. New York Times, for example, makes it super difficult to cancel their subscription services. Do you guys think this needs to be regulated further? Do you guys think that this is just kind of part of doing business in this industry? Delano, let me get your takes on this.
Zay, no more regulation. Let us live free. I don't think it needs to be regulated further because Amazon's doing what all business do. They do not want it to be easy for you to cancel subscription revenue, which is one thing that is loved by Wall Street analysts. You know why, guys? Because it's predictable. And with predictable revenue, and that's something that Amazon is trying to invest in and build up. Amazon Prime does about $8 billion per quarter in subscription revenue. So that's something they want to keep. And if you look at it from the standpoint of a company that is just looking to invest in an area where they have 150 million people signed up, that's something they're going to try to maintain. And I think that we just have to keep letting it go. Subscription revenue is a good thing. We all create friction. Every business, gyms, cable companies, they create friction in dropping subscriptions. I don't think it's something that we have to regulate further.
All right, I'm coming in with the consumer point of view here and saying that consumers and investors are paying more attention to the actions of the companies that they invest in, and whether it's internal or external. All right, people want to use their wealth to push for change and hold companies accountable for sketchy actions. So being difficult to subscribe or unsubscribe, to things, or tricking users into subscriptions, it's an old tactic that the modern tech-savvy investor or user consumer doesn't really want to deal with, right? So I think that can sway loyalty for a brand. Look at Wells Fargo. That, at the end of the day, they had woes that are hard to remove, and it's past kind of it enters into its headline risk today, and I think that that's something that is totally notable. Like, headline risk is very real. So I will give Amazon an A+ for customer service, though, because whenever I have an issue, I literally pick up the phone. I'm a millennial, so I'm down to pick up the phone still and actually call for help. But not everyone wants to do that. That makes people mad, uncomfortable. But whenever I do that, they are super great. They usually help me with the issues right away. So I don't see, maybe that should be their big value prop is just, hey, pick up the phone, guys. Just do that. since it's so hard to navigate online.
You know, I think you guys all make excellent points. Like, having more regulation is never a good thing. And Amazon is doing what literally every business since the beginning of time has done. They make it really easy to sign up, and they're obviously going to make it difficult for you to cancel their subscription. I mean, even when I was working at a gas station when I was a teenager, right? When people would leave the store without buying what they wanted to buy or without buying anything, we would kind of ask them, like, yo, like, why are you leaving, man? Can I help you with something? Can I try to make it a little bit of friction before they walk out the door without making a sale? So Amazon is doing that. There probably needs to be some sort of law or regulation that prevents companies from crossing the line. Because I think the one that I get really annoyed about, and not to put them on the spot, is like the media companies like the New York Times, right? I subscribe to the New York Times, but I remember once I wanted to cancel it because I wasn't going to be using it for a while. And I had to pick up the phone and call them, be on hold for like 30 minutes. That to me is like crossing the line a little bit, right? Like, you need to be able to give me an online option. If I can sign up for your service online, you have to give me an online option for me to cancel your service. Even if I have to go through a bit of a hoops, like a couple more clicks, but don't make me pick up the phone to make this cancellation. Don't make me get on the phone with somebody or talk to a real human.
There should be two steps, easy. There could be a chat bot, let's say that. Unsubscribe, please. Why are you unsubscribing? Right. Pick an option, right? This, too expensive, whatever. Click your option, that's it. End of discussion. Let's move on.
No, guys, I think you have, as a business owner, you have to make it difficult. Not everyone is hardworking and would push through it like you guys did, right? You picked up the phone and you found out what had to be done. A lot of people would just literally just leave it because, like, all right, I don't even want to go through this. And that's probably a lot of what happens with these companies in nutrition. If you look at Amazon, the stock price is literally flat over this past year. Why? Because investors are looking for a story to get excited about. And I don't think the subscription, story is really what's going to excite investors. But I think the investments that Amazon is making in giving value to these people that are subscribed to their platform and to Prime is the big thing. So I don't know. We have to make it hard. We have to make it hard for people because not everyone's hardworking as you two up here. I think we have to make it hard.
Yo, I love that I'm hardworking because I pick up the phone. Thank you. That is like good. I feel so validated right now. Anyway, all right, what's happening next, guys?
Next up, we have someone that's also very, very hardworking, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. I'd love to meet him in person if I could. But Mark has been up to a lot of things. Most recently, Mark is talking about NFTs and how they're going social. NFTs will soon be coming to Instagram. Mark was speaking at South by Southwest, and he confirmed that digital collectibles will be arriving on the platform in the near term. And he also didn't really give too much details about how it's going to look, but he suggested that people will not only be able to buy, but possibly be able to mint their own NFTs on Instagram, which is super incredible because it's just interesting. It's one of the biggest platforms we have. So what happens now, guys? Like, Nicole, does this solidify NFTs? Does this make it, just take us to a different space now that it's coming to Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, Meta has been all in on controlling the metaverse. And it can seem a little bit scary in terms of control. I know I'm still grappling with the past of Facebook, Meta. But it could be great, right? It could be a great launch pad for the integration of blockchain technology into that mainstream adoption that we want to see. From personal experience, I have a newsletter. It's called What the FinTech Hey, and I get a lot of subscribers from Instagram because folks are interested in the technology, right? They're like, what's FinTech? What is that? And so that's helped me push my subscribers by like a ridiculous amount in a fast amount of time. So imagine if we could do that same thing for blockchain. Could be really cool via NFTs. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind scrolling through my Instagram feed and seeing a bunch of cool art and just like new artists, right? I think that's a other flip side to this is this could open a lot of access for new artists to get more of their work out there to more people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, look, Instagram embracing NFTs makes a lot of sense. Instagram is the #1 photo sharing app in the world. Over 1 billion people use Instagram every single day. To me, this was just a matter of time. Twitter embraced NFTs. Twitter allows you to make NFTs as part of your profile picture, and people can kind of verify where your NFT is and verify it on the blockchain. Instagram doing that is going to be the next step. And this will be like the make or break moment for if NFTs enter full-on mainstream, right? If NFTs explode and are like fully embraced by mainstream culture via Instagram, we know that NFTs are here to stay. We know that NFTs are the future. But if NFTs launch on Instagram and it's kind of one of those features that no one really embraces and it kind of comes and goes, well, then we'll know that NFTs are probably going to be more of a niche thing, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like NFTs being niche is okay. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why they're worth so much money right now, is because there's this niche high net worth of people that are kind of gravitating towards it. So this is kind of the make or break moment, and I think Zuck is doing the right thing by kind of embracing NFTs here, because again, like Nicole said, they're trying to dominate the metaverse. They're trying to pivot their entire massive business to be more metaverse focused. And what's more metaverse than digital art, digital profile pictures, ownership of digital goods? Like that's exactly what NFTs are. So this is the next logical step for Facebook to embrace, and we'll now see if this gets picked up by the mainstream or if this just kind of like peters out and stays a crypto thing on Twitter.
Zayd and Nicole, you guys both made like a really big point. It's like Zuck is going all in. And I have to give him credit for, one, not being afraid to take a risk. Do you guys remember the Facebook phone? Remember that a long time ago? That horrible commercial on the plane. But see, he takes risks. And this is another risk that is being taken. And so I have to give him credit because I think this is awesome. But I think Zayd also made a really incredible point about this being kind of a make or break moment. I think if you're going on mainstream, if you're going on one of the biggest platforms out there, this is something where people are pretty decisively and open about how they feel. Have you read Instagram comments before? Make sure you're commenting below on our page as well. But people are super, super outgoing about how they feel, and they'll let you know. So it'll be very, very quick feedback. But I also think I'm betting on the side of this being something that is more mainstream, right? Like, we're investing in new startup companies. The first investment that we made, full disclosure, was in an NFT remixing minting tool platform for creators to be able to make and mint their own NFTs or remix memes. So I think this is going to be a super telling thing to happen. So I'm really, really excited for when he gives us more details on what is going to happen with this NFT and Instagram kind of partnership coming together.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Instagram minting NFTs is like another element to this thing, right? Because right now, how difficult is it to mint an NFT? You have to use these platforms like OpenSea, and I'm not gonna lie, I've tried doing it myself, and I've been using the internet my entire life, or almost my entire life, and I'm still kind of like scared of doing minting NFTs or participating, because I'm like, am I gonna screw something up? Am I gonna lose all my ETH in my MetaMask wallet? So I'm a little bit scared. If Instagram can come in and kind of put together this marketplace or make it very seamless for the average person to participate in this, which we really haven't done so far, but if Instagram can do it, then they're going to be taking market share from places like OpenSea and other NFT platforms.
Yeah, and that makes the story even more interesting. So, I mean, I'd like to see it. I hope it gets to that point. Like I said, dope art in my feed. Happy to check it out. I've been to a live NFT gallery, guys, just like real quick before we move on. It is sick. Like, I didn't really connect with NFTs until I went. And so if people had that same experience on their phones, it could be really revolutionary. So we'll see, Zuck. We'll see what you got. Moving on to Twitter, I guess, or at least Elon Musk tweeting that he is pushing investing in physical things, that is a direct quote, instead of pumping Dogecoin for a change as the sting of inflation hits America and not him. He has tweeted to his 77 million followers that it's better to own a home because everyday people can just decide, hey, I want to buy a home today, or stock in companies, but he won't be selling his own crypto. It's an interesting piece of advice from a man that manages to have a barely profitable business, yet remains one of the richest people in the world. That confuses me regularly. So, is this egotistical genius, right? Or is he just vying for attention and to move markets because he can?
Nicole, I love your shots that you take at Elon, and I have to be the Elon apologist, which I don't know what that makes me, but I don't have any billionaire friends, so if he's watching, I'd love to have a billionaire friend. Let him know in the comments that he should be watching our show. But I don't know, I think he's usually has a hot takes on Twitter, but this is one that wasn't really a hot take. It's sound advice that you're in times of inflation. One thing you don't want to do is have a lot of cash usually, because what happens? Your purchasing power gets decreased by the increase in prices of all the things that you normally buy. So that was sound advice to be investing. Now, investing in tangible assets or real estate or different things, that companies that make real things and utilities and different things at that time, yeah, that's normally good advice in inflationary periods. Obviously, it's all up to like your portfolio plan, right? Past is not performance, is not guarantee of the future. So I don't know. I think Zayd, this was just really interesting advice. It wasn't really spicy. It was just like he was trying to like be a quasi advisor for a little bit, right?
This was the most boring, like vanilla Elon Musk tweet on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah, this is a 1. Like, this is nothing, Elon. Like, what is he doing? If he had said instead, like, You should put all your money in Tesla during inflationary periods. That's what I'm talking. That's the kind of controversy that I'm talking about. But like, this dude just giving out like normal advice that you could learn from any financial advisor or any like normal personal finance blog. So this wasn't very spicy. I thought he had lost his fastball, and then a couple days later, he just tweets out that he wants to fight Putin. So, he still has the ability to drive up controversy and get engagement. So, he's the ultimate marketer. To me, I don't really have a spicy take here. I just feel like this dude he's just giving out normal, vanilla financial advice, and maybe he doesn't want to get in trouble from the SEC anymore. Maybe he's just kind of tired of going through those litigations and doesn't want to give out any crazy spicy advice anymore, like he's done in the past, like moving markets like Dogecoin and things like that. So yeah, he's just kind of scaling it back a little bit,
Is someone controlling his Twitter? Do you think he has a ghostwriter? He's got a ghostwriter for his Twitter.
I don't think so.
Someone that's like, hey, hang on. No, I doubt it.
I don't think so.
I don't know. There's folks out there that definitely need that. But all right, well, it's a little fun for me to say that was a vanilla situation and not something so spicy. But anyway, moving on. So excited for our next segment. We're calling it So That Happened. And I'd like to welcome producer Danny to the show. He is famous for leaving no internet stone left unturned. He is going to explain what that means and what he's up to and what he's going to show us. Everyone, say hi to producer Danny. What's up, producer Danny?
What's up, gang? I feel like the pressure is high today. I gotta bring some interesting stories. We got Elon Musk being vanilla. Zayd has no hot takes. Like, well, what happened? The internet's boring today.
Not with you here. You're about to make it not boring, I have a feeling.
Absolutely. No, I'm super excited to tell you about this one. You guys were talking about OpenSea earlier, the NFT site. Well, what if I told you people might not be going over there and might instead be heading to the literal OpenSea crowdfunding platform? WeFunder has found a new way to speak to our inflationary speculative times. Inflation's at record levels. Many are looking for the latest and greatest high return, high risk adventure. So their angle here, this sunken ship, this is a real sunken ship. It's estimated to have somewhere between $200 million and $7 billion of gold. They're offering investors a piece of that potential pie, depending on what they dig up. I'm repeatedly emphasizing this is real. I ran this through our compliance person. She's like, this isn't real, right? This is a real listing. It's a real website, okay? My first reaction, guys, can I just say, quite a range. 200 million to 7 billion. That'd be like saying, yes, my net worth is between 100 grand and $3.5 million.
Dan, the first thing that comes to mind is this is, I can't believe I have to admit this, but I can't swim. So as long as I'm not going down there, right, like I'm okay. But these speculative returns is something people are looking for, but I just don't want to be going down there. I really can't swim that well.
Well, wait till you hear this, okay, Delano? WeFunder describes an extremely high return potential, but there's even an early bird bonus where you could actually get something from the wreck, including, get ready for this, a piece of coal, a rivet, or a pottery shard, okay? Because it's one thing to see high yield on an investment, but my very own piece of a wet pot. Huh, Delano? Are you in? You gonna go for a swim?
I like this, honestly. I like this. I'm always good. Interesting ways to make money. I'm in on this. It's not going down there.
These guys just rebranded a lottery, right? They just rebranded a lottery, added an interesting story to it, and now they're going to be raising money. What?
The whole platform really is really interesting to me. WeFunder, they're no stranger to eclectic projects. So some of their other listings include Wi-Fi for space for astronauts and the Uber of group transportation, which I wish these guys the best, but I kind of feel like the ship for Uber of X sailed, 10 years ago. Throwing it to you, Delano, I'm curious, what's your view on the rise of speculative collectibles? Is just everyone starving for wild yield right now? I mean, in an Elon Musk's vanilla world, where are we?
You're right. I think there was a lot, even during like the times of 2020, 2021, there was a lot more push for speculative yield. And I think that's kind of come down as like our speculative assets or our more growthier assets have pulled back. But I think it's always going to be there. There's always people looking for different ways to take a bet on different things, spreading out their risk, right? But this is one of the more interesting ones I've ever heard of. But I think people are always going to be looking for these ways. So we have to do a little bit more research. More due diligence, Danny. I'm always down for some more due diligence.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the risk is, they dig up this boat and then there's nothing there. It could just be starfish and skeletons. Then what? You got nothing.
A zero one.
So
Yeah.
there's another NFT thing going around. I don't know if you guys have heard of Pantone. Every year, Pantone actually has the audacity to announce the color of the year. Okay, so this year it was
Yes.
very Perry. You can see it there. It's this kind of nice blue color. Pantone recently announced NFTs, but they're free, which I thought was a kind of a cool way to kind of join the crowded fray, but in a classy way. And I thought these NFTs look pretty cool. Friendly reminder: NFTs highly volatile, very risky. A lot of people still confused on the premise of NFTs. I'm among them, still trying to understand. We've got the monetized JPEGs, etc., criticisms. But I got to tell you guys, I don't understand NFTs yet. I also don't understand Pantone, right? Like, this is a company that converts colors into money. Like, I don't understand. Like, are there competitors, rainbows and sunsets? Like, if they hear someone go, wow, look at that blue sky, or they're like, we got a better blue than that. So I dug in. I was like, I got to understand, what is Pantone cooking? Bloomberg writes, technically Pantone is kind of a biochemical company. Pantone makes its greenbacks by developing colors in a lab. It then sells those formulas to printers, designers, fabric mills, things of that nature. We think of colors as kind of simple things we learn as a child, but getting that right concoction for an ink, that's tough. That's their industry secret. But make no mistake, this blew my mind. While they are bordering on an industrial, DuPont, they're not. Pantone has some fascinating jobs, including color economist and color psychologist.
What?
Crazy.
What
This
does
is
that
so
mean?
cool.
I was like, what's next? Color astrologist? And actually, it's not next, it's previous. In 2005, the company actually teamed up with an astrologer to create a color astrology system that, quote, offers insight into our personality and lives based on 366 birthday colors. 366 is leap day for anyone stuck on that. This level of color obsession, I mean, it seems bonkers to me, but with over 53 years in business, who am I to question the hubris of hue? Still, I think we can all agree that 2021's color of the year, the absolutely dreary ultimate gray, kind of a cop out. What is this? Gray? This is no good. This is no good.
This
Throwing
is
it to
amazing.
Nicole, what are some businesses with unexpected business models or profit drivers that pique your interest?
I mean, this is amazing. First of all, when I said that you leave no internet stone left unturned, we really meant it, guys. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. I actually love the color. What was it? Psychology and astrology. I totally actually think I get that because right colors can go with your moods and they represent things. Okay, I gotta stop talking about colors. My color of the year would be terracotta. Anyway, so yes, businesses that surprise me. Actually, gas stations. Like I don't really go to gas stations now because I live in New York. But when I used to go to gas stations, when I lived in like Texas and California, I mean, I've learned that gas stations don't actually make all their money from gas. They make more of their money from the convenience stores. Like there was no way I was stopping at a gas station without walking in, getting myself a hot dog, maybe a little sundae or like a milkshake or that kind of thing. So that kind of surprises me.
Dave, Delano,
Yeah.
any unique things? I mean, we're in this environment where it's like, can a content company even make content anymore? Are there any other ones that come to your mind where you're like, well, what does this business do?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking movie theaters. Obviously, that's been in the headlines a lot. Where like movie theaters don't make any money. They barely make any money from their ticket sales. They make all their money from concessions and food and all their super buttery popcorn. That's really high profit margin stuff right there. Their sodas and stuff. So yeah, that's the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, for me, it's like I know it actually works because they deliver a lot of different things, but like the whole gig economy, which is great for gig workers, but the business model is actually like a non-profitable business to start, right? Like think about Uber, different areas of the gig economy, and different things that were happening there. It's a loss leader, but when you add those other products, those ancillary products, then it becomes more profitable. But to do something that's just a loss leader to start, unless you can really scale, it doesn't make sense to me. So that would be the one for me, Danny.
It's really interesting to me. You see a business and you're like, oh, that's a gas station. They sell gas. And it's like, no, they don't even, the gas is just to get you in the door. It's really intriguing. but not as intriguing as this recent Reddit post. I got to tell you guys about this. I've been chewing on this for weeks, y'all. So here's the deal. Reddit user Use Simple Lifestyle posted to the Bitcoin subreddit a strange relationship. It's puzzled me for weeks, guys. Okay. His post shows a apparent correlation between searches for Bitcoin and ramen in the past 7 days. It looks like when people search more for Bitcoin, they search less for ramen and vice versa. One Redditor even absurdly suggested rotating your quote unquote investments, moving in and out from what some see as the biggest innovation in money ever to something college students agree goes good with an egg. So I decided to do some investigating. I was like, what's behind this? I was shocked to learn ramen may not be the only asset class investors should look at. Okay, it appears that crypto and horse are also inversely correlated. So if crypto is up, it may be time to consider moving to a ranch in Montana. As for NFTs, my studies show when enchiladas are at their hottest, NFTs tend to see a bump in interest shortly thereafter. So you guys can see the charts there. There's a pattern going on. The charts are 100% real, but I think we all probably sense there's something frivolous going on. It's puzzled me for weeks. I finally solved it. So I throw it to you guys. Are you buying the enchilada peak? What do you think?
Does crypto make people hungry or what? I'm confused.
Who has time to figure like who? How do you? What?
Danny has time.
I don't know, Danny. You'll tell me, but I feel like if you're investing, this is again total spitballing. You're investing in Bitcoin or different things. Then you're like that. Ramen is usually like a cheap food, like some of them. They're like, I don't need this anymore. If it's just we're going up, they don't need it anymore. Is that where we're going here? I have no clue.
It's a good guess. It's a good guess. Not quite it. Not quite it. Anyone else want to hazard a stab here?
No clue, man. How does like I'm
Do they get nervous? Are they nervous because they invested in Bitcoin? So then they're like, I gotta get ramen. Or like,
in a way, you're both kind of right. So they are weekly charts. So the kind of cyclical look of them is actually just the fact that you're looking at 7 different days. So all the charts really show is that during any given day, every single term kind of follows a trend. So in a sense, every search term is correlated with the fact that people go to sleep and wake up at certain times. So there really is no relationship. It's completely spurious.
It's a lot. It's a lot less interesting now.
Wow. Confused us all. I will say I probably think about Bitcoin and ramen the same amount of times a day, probably.
Well, that's it, guys. Thanks so much. Great to see you, and we'll see you next time.
All right. All right. Thanks,
Danny.
producer Danny. Bye. Oh my gosh. That was amazing. I just learned so much. I'm still stuck on what's happening with colors right now. But all right. Now we're going to talk about what is happening now, next, never, aka the headlines you should be paying attention to that didn't make the top of our feed. I have right now, nostalgia is really setting in and feeling very real. CD sales increased in the US for the first time in almost 2 decades, joining a decade-long resurgence in vinyl. I'm a vinyl girl myself, or I like to stream my music on YouTube because your girl likes music videos. But I'm interested. This one kind of surprised me for sure. I get it though. We're in this age where there's like rebrands and refreshes of movies, and so I guess physical items and CDs are starting to have a novelty, which also makes me feel old. Anyways, what's up next, Zaid?
What's next? Well, speaking of a company that's not nostalgic at all, Netflix, which is innovative in the streaming space, we've all done it, but they're cracking down. They're going to be cracking down on sharing passwords. There was a report out saying that they might be charging extra for people that share passwords with their family members that don't live in the same household. So a lot of you guys watching right now are probably freaking out. They're starting off as a pilot test. I don't know if they're going to kind of expand it everywhere. I have a feeling that if they do, a lot of people are going to either be canceling or finally paying for their own service.
Really messes up my rotation in my household. I'm going to give it away. I have one of us pays for Netflix, one of us pays for HBO, one of us pays for Hulu and Disney, and we just rotate on each other's. So this kind of, I don't know if this will mess that up for me or not, but I have a solid strategy, and I feel like I'm gonna be
They're-
mad if that
They're
gets
cracking down on it now, man. They're
No!
We're all gonna get hit.
No. All right, Delano, what is never going to happen for you?
Nicole, I love that strategy and organization. But what's never happening right now is a hotel in space. So a California company, the Gateway Foundation, released plans for having a cruise ship style hotel in space. There was renderings that were put out where they'll have a hotel that will look like similar to a lavish style hotel on Earth. Why I think this is never, because we haven't figured everything out on Earth. Let's stay here. This mass adoption and this mass hysteria of going to space needs to calm down a little bit. Let's figure out the things on Earth that we were promised. We were promised flying cars. We were promised bullet trains from LA to New York. We haven't gotten those things yet. Let's do those things first, and then we'll figure out the hotel in space much, much later.
Yeah, Back to the Future never panned out.
You know, I'm curious though. Would you guys like? Let's just say in a hypothetical situation, you guys become like friends with Jeff Bezos, and he offers you a ride, Blue Origin, to this hotel. Are you going?
How long do I have to stay there? Don't you have to stay in space for like?
Let's just say it's a. I don't know. Let's just say it's a weekend getaway. Okay, you're going up there for the weekend. You'll be back by Sunday night, so you can make your Monday morning commute. Are you going on this ride to? Are you spending the weekend in space with Bezos? It's a no for me. I'm not doing it.
I need 25% of the world to have done this before I, Delano Saporu, gets on this space street travel. So we need much more practice on this before I'm getting on that thing.
Yeah, I think that's a never for me too.
It's a never. I'm not doing it. Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
no way.
Wow, completely solidified there. No questions asked. Amazing. All right, guys, that does it for our show today. This was a ton of fun. Can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be Friday. Super excited. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you thought about producer Danny and his segment. I really enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, and let's keep it lit.
Yes.
Bye.